Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're tackling something pretty universal. How to stay active if, the gym isn't really your thing, or maybe just not practical. We've got some excerpts here from a text called How to Stay Active Without a Gym.
Right.
And our mission really is just to pull out the useful bits, the stuff you can actually use day to day to get moving more. No fancy equipment needed.
Exactly. We're diving right in to find those practical takeaways, the ways to kind of weave movement into your life without thinking you need a special building for it.
Okay, so let's start with the big idea from this text. Basically, it's saying that physical activity, well, it doesn't have to happen in a gym.
Not at all. It's more about seeing the opportunities for movement that are already, all around you.
Unlocking your environment almost.
Yeah, precisely. It kind of flips the script, doesn't it? Instead of scheduling exercise time, you start seeing your whole day as a potential activity time.
Which is a different mindset. It's less about adding this extra chore.
Right. And more about tweaking the things you're already doing anyway.
So what are some examples from the text? It mentions some pretty simple stuff.
Well, the classic one is the stairs versus the elevator. We've all heard it, but the text frames it as, a mini workout right there.
A little cardio burst. And it emphasizes that those little bits really do accumulate.
They absolutely do. Another one is walking or maybe cycling for short trips, popping to the shop or something.
Instead of automatically jumping in the car?
Exactly. These aren't like massive time commitments, but doing them consistently, that's what boosts your overall activity.
Okay, and what about at home? The title implies you can do things without leaving the house.
Yeah, it touches on using your own body for resistance. It doesn't list specific exercises like push-ups or squats.
But the idea is there.
Right, the idea that you don't need weights or machines. You can use your body weight effectively. Maybe, a few squats while the kettle boils, that kind of thing.
Simple stuff. But does it really make a difference? These tiny bursts.
That's a key point the text makes. It stresses that consistency is actually more important than, say, intensity for many people.
Right, so showing up often, even for short periods.
Frequent, short bits of activity can genuinely benefit your health, your energy. It's about finding a rhythm that works for you, something sustainable.
And there's a psychological angle, too, isn't there?
Yeah.
Something about how we think about activity?
Definitely. It suggests reframing it. So instead of seeing exercise as this, obligation you dread, you see it more as just a natural part of living, like walking or stretching or just moving your body.
And maybe linking it to stuff you actually enjoy.
Exactly. That's a great way to do it. If you like gardening, well, that's activity. If you like dancing, put some music on. It stops being a should and becomes something more integrated, maybe even fun. Part of your lifestyle, not separate from it.
So I guess the main takeaway for anyone listening is that getting more active doesn't have to be this huge, complicated thing involving gym fees and schedules.
Not at all. It's really about awareness, just noticing and taking those small chances to move that pop-up all day long.
They're already there, waiting.
Pretty much. Which leads us nicely into our kind of final thought for the listener.
Okay.
Based on these, pretty simple ideas from the text, what's maybe one small change, one tiny adjustment you could realistically make today?
Without needing a gym, obviously.
Right. It could be taking one flight of stairs, or maybe a 5-minute walk on your lunch break. Something small, something doable now.
Yeah, that's a good prompt. Because this deep dive into how to stay active without a gym, well, it shows that boosting your activity isn't about revolutionizing your life. It's more about those small, mindful choices to just move a bit more within the life you already have.
Well put. Hopefully that gives everyone some practical things to think about.
We hope so. Thanks for tuning into The Deep Dive. Welcome back to The Deep Dive. Today,